Now, this is exactly how you make money when you're at your 20s and 30s. And guess what happens now? See, if you do this now, at 40s, now money works for you. I repeat, this is exactly how you make money at your 20s and 30s. And at 40s, money works for you. All right? Now, see, most of the people don't understand the luxury or the most important, the greatest thing when you're at your 20s and 20s, and also at your 30s. People don't understand. Let me tell you one secret how people should I use how they affect your life? I mean, how you affect your life, and by the time you realize you're at 40s, you're regretting. This is what happens now. At 20s, we can agree, all of us. Well, not most of the people are wealthy and rich and financially stable at this particular point. Probably you don't even have a job, you're struggling, freshly graduate, and all those kind of things. So you're kind of, okay, fine. What exactly can I do? And guess what you leverage on when you're at your 20s? At 20s, you may not even have the money and all those kind of things. Or about, you have three things that I know you have, okay? Number one, you have the energy. Two, you have the time. All right. And three, guess what you can do? Or guess what you have? You have what we call the skills. All right. Those are the three things that you have at your 20s. Okay. Now, at your 30s, at least we can agree, me and you. Okay, fine. Okay, let's say most of the people, all right, or we can really say like 40%. 60% of people are actually becoming what we call financially stable. Not really financially stable. Should I say you are employed somewhere? Let's say you are earning. All right, you are earning. Guess what happens now at your 30s? You have your family. You have your family there. Some people start thinking about, hey, how can I get married? How can I get kids? You know what? I just want to have the families and all those baby blues and what have you at 30s. And again, at 30s, it depends. This is a very crucial time. By the way, do you know one thing? When we were born, I do not know much. I also know you don't know how much about it, but you can look at it from someone else. See, when you are born, they usually say the very few, I don't know whether it's seconds or minutes or what have you, when the kid gets out and if they doesn't breathe or cry or something else, they say that is the make or break of your life. So when you're at your 30s and 40s, or rather when you're 20s or 30s, that is the make or the break part of your life. At 20s, when you make mistakes, the society, even yourself, you tend to, it's okay, it happens. Maybe I was stupid, I was young, and what have you. But when you're making mistakes at your 30s, people question you. Hey, you are an adult. Hey, you have a family. Why would you do that? Why would you compete with people in a very nonsensical way? Why would you even affect your mind? Why? You get what I'm saying? See, at your 20s, now this is what you do. At your 20s, you're allowed all the way from 21 to talk of 26. At 26, at this particular point, this is called we call it at self-identity. Self-identity. At this particular point, you don't even know who you are. You don't even know your capabilities. This time you find if you're a boy, you try to practice how man you are. If you're a lady, you want to see, I want to see how lady I am. How lady I am. You get what I'm saying? Okay, for those who understand, if you don't get it, forget about it. Now, above 26 now, you say, hey, probably you're done with university, you have your degree, you have your college degree, maybe you never even went to university, but you have something like it's energy, time, and skills. At this particular point, if you ask me, this is the time that you can afford to go even without taking a lunch. Again, I'm not saying you don't take your lunch. I'm saying if it is possible. By the way, let me ask a question. If today I give you a call and tell you, oh, you don't have a job, oh, fine. How about you do this? Show up to my company. You come here for an intern for a whole 3 months, no payment. But I assure you, when you start the 4th month, you're on salary, you're on pay slip. What would you do? You'd go ahead and do that. Be like, fine, no problem. I'm going to sacrifice those 3 months, okay? The same case happens with life. Now, assume somebody has promised you for a job. When you hit this particular age, when you have that kind of a thing, you focus on, if you know very well, me not taking a lunch will actually separate me from poverty. Subhanallah, so be it. I'm going to put it aside. Okay, so that is exactly what you go ahead and do it. So at this particular point, yeah, I understand you're throwing parties, you're moving from one place to the other. You say, hey, life is, YOLO, you only live once and blah, 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 and what have you. At this particular point, that amount of money that you're earning, try as much as you can. At this particular point, I'm not expecting you to have a family, and if you do, it's okay. But I would say save at least or invest at least 20% of your salary that you get. Continuously feed that beast. Invest as if you're crazy. Behave, live, act as if you're paranoid. Have you ever met somebody who is paranoid? Like with life, they behave as if tomorrow they get fired. And this is why I always tell people, are you employed? Behave as if you're going to be fired tomorrow. Do not at any point let your brain tell you to be comfortable. At this particular point, channel your investment, channel your savings somewhere. For example, if today someone tells you, okay, for example, if today you invest 100K in an MMF, that is only That will give you like approximately 13K at the end of the year. At the end of the year, not a month, at the end of the year, give you that 13,000. But honestly speaking, that 13,000 may not sound as big cash. But what if you started this thing at your 26? You're now at your 30. You're now at your 30. How much have you saved actually? You continue with this, you hit your 40, you have another 10 years. What if you got watch this video when you're 26? By the time you clock your 40, you have your 14 years to go. So you've been investing for the last 14 years. You dare tell me, even if you decide to save 100 bob, that's $1 each and every day. $1, just $1. Before you grab that burger, before you grab that whatever thing that you want to grab with that a single dollar, you put it aside in an investment continuously for the next 14 years. You tell me how much you're gonna have, and you're gonna create yourself a big of a portfolio whereby at your 40s money is working for you. And let me tell you one secret. Let's say you want a particular amount of money as your salary. You do not have to save you don't have to invest like a huge chunk of money to a point whereby you're not even progressing in life. No, for example, let's say in a month you can be able to save 10,000, 20,000 or 40,000. That is in Kenyan shillings. That's like $200 and whatever the amount of money is. Get the concept, not the currency. So what you do is to go ahead and decide, hey, I'm going to be saving this amount of, let's say I'm able to save like $200 in a month, but I'm not going to save that entire amount of money. How about I save like 50? So the rest of the 150, I can be able to do my things. I can be able to accumulate somewhere on the purposes of maybe buying a property, coming up with my own home or whatever the thing is. Now this 50, I'm going to put it aside in terms of an investment. And I'm looking at it from 14 years time. I'm assuming you're listening this at 26. And if you're listening this at 21, 22, so be it. That's a great thing. And if you're so listening this at your 30, you have 10 years to go. Continuously feed that beast. You're going to tell me when you're at your 40, how much would you have increased? How much would you have accumulated? How much would you have made that can actually help you to not only worry about money, but, well, see, there's no way you never think about money. You think about money. The difference is that you would worry about it. You're not thinking to worry. But just thinking about the money, how you can progress and grow yourself to the next level. Now, see, that is when you're at your 20s. Now, when you're at your 30s, at this particular point, I understand. And this is why I always tell people, it is good when you take action as early as you can. All right? Why? See, when you do not have a family, that is when you're at your 20s. Most of the people don't tend to marry, oh my goodness, my camera is showing, tend to marry when you're above your 20s or late 20s or early 30s or continuously out there, especially in African setup. See, what happens is that you have less of the responsibilities. You can even decide to live in a studio, a bed sitter, however you guys call it. But when you clock your 40, the family starts to kick in. Now, at that particular point, you need to cater for your families. You need to look presentable. You need to go ahead and associate with people and what have you. So the point is this, when now you clock at your 30s, the maturity has kicked in. All right. And if you're the kind of a guy who you at your 30s and you're on my comment section telling me how impossible this is, you're asking me the question now, Joseph, all those what you tell me, have you invested yourself and all those kind of, come on, don't have a baseless argument. You get what I'm saying? If I'm saying something here that can help you, go pick it up out there. Let's meet at the peak. See, what you do not develop that defense mechanism. What you do, because the maturity has kicked in, go ahead and make that decision. Move with it. Save, invest as you move progressively to the next level. So guys, at your 20s and 30s, if you ask me, this is the prime time, this is the prime age for you to actually transform and change your life so that at least you can be able to do something as far as the investments are concerned. Now, let me ask a very simple question. How many of you at this particular point, probably you're watching this video, and by the way, shoot that comment on the comment section. You are at your 40, you are at your 45. The life became a little bit complicated. Why? Because at your 30s, at early 30s, or maybe even say at late 30s, probably your kids, maybe they are joining high school, or most of them are not joining high school. And the moment I'm using this as an example from Kenya, maybe you can pick it up from your country. So the moment you have your kid joining high school, excuse me, that's time you realize that you actually needed to pay quite of a huge school fees. You have a lot of expenses that you have to cater. And when you're at your 40, 45, 50, and then you hear somebody talking about investment, and you know very well, it is even very hard for you to spare even a very small amount of money to invest. Guess what happens? You become bitter with life. You start asking yourself, why didn't I listen? Because, by the way, and I want you to do this, go read the comment sections or on the comment section of this specific video. You find people saying, hey, I wish I knew you, Joseph, like 2 years ago. I really wish. See, all those regrets is what we want to minimize them, if not eradicate them. That's what we want to do, because I came to realize most of the people, things to do with investments was never shared with us. We do not know anything as far as the investments are concerned. It is good to make sure that at least you understand some nitty-gritties as far as the investments are concerned. Otherwise, if we do not do this, we're gonna inherit, or rather we're gonna actually go ahead and what we call it, because for example, people of my age, this time now we are giving birth, we have young children and what have you, we're gonna empty nothing to them. And if we empty nothing to them, guess what happens now? When you have nothing, obviously that's what you share. And if you share nothing, then it means if you become lucky in one way or the other, create wealth, you're gonna leave that wealth to people or children that you have not actually shared anything as far as the wealth management, growth, and also be responsible human beings or citizens that are supposed to be. You ain't gonna do that, and guess what happens? Everything that you'll make will gonna be squandered out there. So it is good when we come here, you listen what we are talking about. When you're at your 20s or 30s, do something about it so that we develop, we grow ourselves, and progress to the next level. And by the way, this is that video I would like to tell me on the comment section. Where are you watching me from? And so far, all the videos that I've been making, which one did I make and you are like, wow, that was a good one? I actually learned a lot from that specific video. This video, I'm gathering the response from you guys. What video did you watch and you're so much happy about it? And by the way, which video did I make and you feel like you would like me to clarify on it, or clarify much information about it? Like, hey, Gate Joseph, you made a video about this and this. I would like you to clarify more. I would like you to make a part 2 of it, and that kind of a thing. You just tell me on the comment section so that at least I may be able to go ahead and revisit that video so that I can be able to make more information about it, probably answer the questions. And if you do have some questions pertaining to that video, how about you put it on the comment section? Let this video be that open video in terms of the comment section, whereby you and everyone out there put their comments out there so that at least we'll be able to learn from each other. And never forget this point, just like an iron sharpens another iron, so do we learn from each other. And if you would like to have a conversation with me, you'd like to have a grab with me, my number is always on the description of this specific video, just below where we have the number of views. For example, if you click on this video, below it you see the number of views and the likes. Just below that, there is a small wording out there. And then just at the farthest end, after the 3 dots, there is a small word written more. Click on that more. Once you click that more, another whole page will pop out. You go check my number is out there, my email is out there. Whatever is comfortable with you, you can pick the number, you can pick the email, shoot me an email, shoot me a text. Let's talk about investment, let's talk about money, let's talk about all those kind of things. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one.